Size don't matter too much. Horses are horses. This Friesian, he came here because he's a little forward and a little pushy. But that's the nature of these Friesians if you don't provide leadership. They get bored pretty easy. They're pretty smart. So the first thing we're going to do is the same things we do with all of them. I'm just going to make sure I can pet him all over with my tools. Just because they got some size on them don't mean that they can't be horses. And if you want to do something with your horse, soft, quiet, and relaxed is a really good place to start. If you've got them where they'll relax and be with you and be easy and follow a feel, any discipline that you choose to go to will be easier. But if you skip over this being quiet and stuff and just start trying to pound them into a box and they don't have any coping skills or they don't have any coexistence practice, they're just going to take over. And when they find out, I think this one here kind of found out he's big. When they find out they're big and they can push you around, they're not going to try too hard for you. And it's silly not to get them to read your intentions and follow a feel. Left and right means back up. No matter what the discipline, he's going to back up. He's way too big to be crowding into me. And he gets lots and lots of pets. Lots of pets. Now I'm going to touch his left jaw and I want his right front foot to move. Right there, quit pulling. Now I'm going to pick straight up like I was riding, and he's going to get back. He's going to get back. If he's used to standing too close to you, he'll continue to stand too close to you. He's not a bad horse. He's a good horse. But he knows what he knows. And he got good at what he knows by practicing what he knows. We're just going to show him some good stuff to practice. I need 2 steps there. I'm just going to show him some good stuff to practice so that it's mutually beneficial to both of us. Right jaw, left front foot. There, he moved it. Tap him, send him around. I need a full circle. Now I'm going to pick up like I was riding and left and right. Now I'm going to rub him and pet him again. I'm going to put my finger in his mouth. Relax that tongue. Left jaw, right front foot. Step him across, move that shoulder. Inside hind leg, left and right. Pet him. See if we can get him. He's so big, one of his life skills that'll be really helpful to the human, left and right. He doesn't get to take off behind the little fairies. unrequested forward motion, if you will. One of his best life skills will be to drop his head. What I want him to do is drop his head on that pressure so I can let go. Then I'd like to rub his jaw. There. Same rules apply. I want him to drop his head. There. And then I rub his jaw. I'll use the same triggers, the same nerves, the same feels that I use for a regular horse. Flies are kind of bothering him. We'll fly spray him here in a minute. I want him to drop his head. There, there, and pet him. There, that's what I want. Now I'll pet him. Forward. Right there's where my legs go. Yeah. I'm not going to drag him like a bucket calf. I'm not strong enough to do that anyway. One circle at a time, inside hind leg. Left and right. He can learn to turn on his forehand in order to give us room. Lots of pets. Left jaw, right front foot. I'm going to make him step across. There it is. One full circle. Inside hind leg. There. Now left and right. Left and right. Good. Now we'll drop his head again. We'll wait for him, yeah? Reward that try. There. Steady. On the jaw. Yeah. That endorphin trigger works on big horses the same as it does a little horse. There. You want to get his head down. Want him to relax. There's where my head, neck, and shoulders are going to be. They ride this horse all over. He's just a little bit scary on the ground. Left and right. There we go. Left jaw, right front foot. Step him across. He doesn't get to crowd into me. Now I'm going to yield that hip and send him across. Let him come around here. Yield that hip. Yield that hip and send him across. He's too big to be, he doesn't follow a field good enough for me to be really accurate, but what I can do is get the maneuver started. Inside hind leg, bend that head. Step him across. There you go. Now I'm going to rub him to a stop. This is our first introduction to reading my intentions. There, good. Left and right. Give him a pat. Head, neck, and shoulders. Good. Now we'll do it again. Left front foot, quit pushing on him. Inside hind leg, bring that shoulder through. Yeah. In the beginning it might be a little bit heavy, but it'll get lighter. Shoulder. There we go. Inside hind leg, bending. Bending, there. Bring that shoulder across. Back it away from you. He's used to using that weight or size to push through you. There's forward. Inside hind leg. Shoulder, there it is. Now I'm going to rub him to a stop. Not going to chase him. But this flag could be here and not have him escalate. He's doing all the work. I'll keep him bent. Make him work at it. There. Pretty quick he'll learn when I raise this flag up, he just stops. Left and right. Right shoulder. Good. Rub him to a stop. Good. Left and right. The reason I do left and right is because it's the same as if you were riding it. There it is. Inside hind leg, shoulder. I want him to practice getting out of my way. You get good at what you practice. Inside hind leg, shoulder. And I'll put a boot on him if I need to. This is my feet today. Inside hind leg, shoulder. There. Forward. 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 Good. Inside hind leg. Shoulder. Yes. See how the shoulder moved further across? It's not perfect, but it's getting better. Inside hind leg, shoulder. There, he stepped across. Good. Rub him to a stop. Left and right means back up. So it doesn't matter what size they are. Horses are horses. And what we're going to teach this little guy here is he doesn't get to come into our space and crowd us. He has to work for his beans. He backed up from the flag, so I'll pet him. So keep that in mind if you're working with a bigger horse. Same rules apply. If you get them soft where they'll move their body parts, and get them following a field and reading your intentions, they will get just as easy to work with as a small 800-pounder. And that's the approach we've been using with this guy. I hope that's good information for you. See ya.